Hello, my name is Dr. Bob DeMaria, the drugless doctor, and today I want to talk to you about ADHD. You know, there's so many definitions for ADHD. Some people call it ADD, attention deficit disorders. Others call it ODD. Did you ever hear that one before? Oppositional defiant disorder. Let me keep it simple. We're just going to call ADHD, ADHD. In my practice, and I've been practicing since 1978, I've seen children and adults from all ages have some very basic similar issues. They can't pay attention. They blurt out. You know, there's certain parameters that we really should follow as a part of our day-to-day activities. In other words, there's certain rules. And I find that, from my experience, individuals who contend with ADHD literally will tell you they have thunderstorms going on inside of their head. I know because in my book, Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 Days, we did a pilot program. And we had 25 participants, and guess what? One of the most common threads through all of them was confusion. So what causes ADHD? What I found from my experience, it's poor fat metabolism. Write this down in your notes. DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. That's a big word. I know it is. But when you do not have the production of this long chain fat in your brain, confusion will result and you have long-term health challenges. I'm going to give you a quiz and I want you to see how well you do with this quiz. So here's the quiz. How often do you have trouble wrapping up the final details of a project? How often do you have difficulty getting things in order when you have to do a task that requires organization? How often do you have problems remembering appointments or obligations, especially birthdays and anniversaries? When you have a task that requires a lot of thought, how often do you avoid or delay getting started? How often do you fidget or squirm with your hands or your feet when you have to sit down for a long time period? So how'd you do? If you have several of those items that you checked, or you know that, hey, Dr. Bob's talking about me, it's time to really pay attention to your diet. How much trans fat, yes, how much partially hydrogenated oils are you consuming? You know what I found? Boys tend to have ADHD more than girls. Do you want to know why? Boys and males require more fat than women do, especially in their younger or their teenage years. When did I start to see so much ADHD? When did it all occur? The late 1970s, the fast food industry went from using lard and beef tallow to trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils in the meals. You can say, well, Dr. Bob, so did people really eat a lot of trans fat at that time? Over time, moms went to work. Convenience foods are loaded with trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils. And as time has gone on, there are 5 million children today estimated that have ADHD. ADHD kids, ADHD children go on to become ADHD adults. So I know some of you watching me right here, right now, may be an adult, 35 to 45 years old, and even older than that, and have challenges focusing on getting a project done. It could even interfere with your job and with your career. I want you to be able to focus. And when you have that ability to do that, you're going to calm your whole body down. Your nervous system will be more relaxed. One last thought. Oftentimes I'll see individuals bouncing their leg when they're at a food court, or just bouncing their leg in general. That's what I call misdirected energy. And there are reasons for that. And we're going to talk about that in another segment. Hello, my name is Dr. Bob DeMaria, the drugless doctor, and today we're going to continue on with the basics of why Dr. Bob has seen so many individuals with ADHD, and we're going to give you some solutions today. What I have found from my experience, one of the leading causes of ADHD, as I mentioned to you in the prior video, is the improper metabolism of fat in your brain, DHA. I want you to take a moment now and look at the fat chart. On the top, you'll notice there are food items like flax, greens, and walnuts. Those foods, and this is really important, need to go through steps. And those steps include vitamins like zinc, B6, and magnesium, and enzymes. Probably the most significant item that you should get from that chart is that trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils. Look at it, you can see it right there. Sabotage your body's ability to make DHA. What I have found over time, when you consume foods like peanut butter, breakfast pastries, French fries, chicken nuggets, convenience foods, that literally will stop your body from making DHA naturally. And that's the beginning of the confusion, the thunderstorms in your head, because your brain is made up of fat. The walnut, as you can see, the half walnut, what does it look like? Yeah, that's right. It looks like a brain. Walnuts are an excellent source of the foods that are required to make DHA. So let's say you don't want to eat walnuts and you don't want to take flax oil. What are other options? Well, we encourage our patients also to use marine or fish-based oil. We oftentimes will suggest anchovy and or sardine-based oils because they're smaller fish and they don't have a tendency to be possibly as toxic as larger fish. See, your brain needs oil. Your brain is made up of fat. Your body sends messages on nerves on a layer of fat called the myelin sheath. So it's so significant for you in this understanding ADHD, when you consume foods that have trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils in them, they will stop the process for up to 51 days. That's the half-life of trans fat. The title of my book is Dr. Bob's Guide to Stop ADHD in 18 Days. Do you want to know why? Because the half-life of the omega-3 fat, like flax oil, is exactly 18 days. That's why we consistently see improvement in a 3-week or less time period. I want you to become label savvy. If you buy a product, I want you to look at the front. If it says 0 grams trans fat on it per serving, I want you to look at the side panel. If you see in the panel partially hydrogenated oils, I would put that package down. I also want you to look at the nutrition facts on the side panel, right above the ingredients. And you'll see total fat or saturated fat. And oftentimes the numbers don't match because legally the amount of trans fat, if it's less than 1/2 gram or less per serving, they don't need to make a notation of that. I know so many of you send your children to school. Be involved in school lunches. School lunches are notorious for having trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils. And finally, those of you that are adults, this affects individuals of all ages. We have consistently seen improvement in a 3-week time period if you make that wise choice to become label savvy and use alternatives like olive oil, rice oil, coconut oil. Stop using trans fat or partially hydrogenated oils. And in the next segment, we're going to give you other reasons why you may be contending with and suffering with ADHD. We're here to make a difference. Hello, my name is Dr. Bob DeMaria, the drugless doctor, and today we're going to talk a bit more about other causes of ADHD. You remember we talked about fat, trans fat sabotaging your body's ability to make DHA. You know, French fries themselves should have a skull and crossbones on the front of them. Probably one of the biggest culprits for individuals to have ADHD. The average American consumes about 28 pounds of French fries every year. It's enormous. Let me tell you this, 1 in 4 children in the United States today ate at some type of franchise restaurant. Actually, 167 meals are consumed outside of the home. But there are other causes of ADHD and the interruption of DHA. If you look at the fat chart, there are certain vitamins and minerals that we need. So you eat food, believe it or not, food becomes you. But if you look at the chart, we need B vitamins, zinc, magnesium, and other enzymes. Well, how do you know if you don't have enough B vitamins? Here are some very common body signals. Do you cry easy? Do you have sore muscles after exercise? Do mosquitoes tend to land on you? Do you have, especially if you're an adult, little red bumps on your body called cherry hemangiomas or varicose veins or spider veins? Those are body signals to me that your liver's not functioning at 100%. Sugar depletes the body of B vitamins. Another item is zinc. Wheat and soy deplete the body of zinc. Body signals for a zinc deficiency: white spots on your nails, large pores on your face, healing slowly, loss of memory, especially for you adults with ADHD right now. Men could have pain on the inside of their heels. Magnesium can be very easily added to your diet by adding greens. Magnesium has a lot to do with bowel function, calmness of the body. You'll also notice by looking at the fat chart, food additives. Be aware that there are certain items that have food coloring in them, and you're going to see bizarre chemical names on ingredients that you're consuming. So if you give a child or yourself a food item and they seem to be a little rambunctious, not attentive, go back. I would suggest that you may even want to journal their diet, because food is everything. Many times individuals, when they have conversation with me about ADHD, they actually think ADHD is caused by a lack of medication. It is not. Medication manages symptoms, but you let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. The good news is this, and I've studied ADHD for years and years and years. I have generally found today, as I am speaking to you, ADHD children are very smart, they're very intelligent. But as I say to the young boys when they're in my practice, your body is like a jet on an aircraft carrier getting ready to take off. And it is sitting there, and it is revving up its engine. And all of a sudden it catapults into the air. One or two things are going to happen. It's going to crash and burn, or it's going to soar high. It all depends on the fuel you're putting in your body. Put the right fuel in your body. I guarantee you this, you'll notice a change in 18 days. I'm Dr. Bob DeMaria, the Drugless Doctor.